Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video we're doing some more 6+ Blackbeard shenanigans and taking him in to some Grand Voyage at Orange Town against Monkey D. Luffy. We're hybriding him up with Tot Musica, and in today's video I have 3 different team variations for you guys to easily take down Grand Voyage level 5. Now, there's nothing really new too much with this particular Blackbeard and getting Grand Voyage level 5 done at Orange Town against Luffy. He could already do it before he's 6+. However, his 6+ now makes it insanely easier, like much easier. The downside to bringing a 6+ is obviously their cost is a lot higher. He's a 65 cost, Uta 6+, Tot Musica is a 65 cost, which means that drastically reduces your cost limit because this is a 240 cost or less. With the team, you need to bring a cost of 240, and just with Tot Musica, as well as Blackbeard, you're already sitting at 130. So that leaves 110 cost for the rest of the team to actually get this done. But obviously with most rare recruits, they're around 30 cost. Coliseum units are 40 cost. But there is one unit that pops up on every single one of these teams that is very good for this particular event, because she is 1 cost, and that is Galette. This Fortnite Galette is 1 cost. I honestly, someone let me know in the comment section below, because I actually don't know. I have no idea where I picked her up, but she's 1 cost. She does damage, which means you can use the lore support, and she actually gives you an orb boost on this particular stage against Zoro and Nami. The other staple that I have used is Perona. Perona with the Zoro support is just so god tier that you could easily just use that to get around this particular stage. Because not only does she remove the damage reduction and the threshold by 2 turns, she also sets defense to 0, and with Zoro you get 2 turns of a chain lock, and for this stage you need a higher chain to actually do damage. On this particular stage, as you guys saw, the first 3 stages, we just basically blitz our way through. This team has Buggies, the Buggy crew that has the switch ability for a color affinity every turn. However, you can easily replace that Buggy with Stampede Buggy. Stampede Buggy actually works really well on this particular team, but you will see him pop up on another team as well. Especially if you don't have the LvL support, utilizing Stampede Buggy. No, sorry, not Stampede Buggy. Halloween Buggy. Halloween Buggy actually works really well for this particular team as well, because he can actually remove defense. So the 4 units that stay the same across all of the teams that you guys are going to see is Blackbeard as either our captain or our friend captain, Tot Musica as our captain or our friend captain, and then Galette with lore support and Perona with the Zoro support. All of that stays the same, and then we change out the Buggy and we change out the other unit. For this particular team, we do have sorry, not extra, I always do that. Page 1, he's a Coliseum unit. You can farm you up, he's free to play, he works very nicely. Another unit you can use on this particular team is actually, if you aren't using page 1, you can use basically any other Buggy with the LvL support. This Buggy crew works the best because he helps by getting guaranteed matching orbs, as well as getting color affinity every single turn and doing a lot of damage that way. Tot Musica is awesome because she can be an orb booster and a color affinity boost, and she can give you some matching orbs too. And as you guys will see here, we don't even hit with Tot Musica, and we have so much damage on the final stage with page 1's chain lock, with Tot Musica's orb boost, color affinity, Shiki for a tiny little attack boost, and it works quite nicely. So that was the first variation of the team. The next variation looks a little bit different. Once again, we are obviously using Blackbeard because he's the one that makes this content very easy. You have to build a team that's built around 240 costs, but they also need to be mono int and mono driven. They also have to include a Buggy on the team. Now, this particular team variation works very well. The difference on this team compared to the last team is we aren't using page 1 anymore. We're actually using Kazuna Brook. The Kazuna Rare Recruit Brook can remove defense up, as well as be a chain locker. Kazuna Brook is actually 30 costs instead of 40 compared to page 1 as well. So he's a very good replacement. And then to replace the Buggy unit, we're actually just utilizing Legend Buggy. Now, for the sake of this video, and for the sake of this particular team, I actually don't use the Buggy special at all. You can use the Buggy special, don't get me wrong, you definitely can use it. Especially if you have him at level limit break 5. But for the sake of the video, I just didn't bother. Like, I just didn't use it. I just wanted to keep it with the Shiki support, and it works quite nicely. So, to break it down, on stage 3, we use the Perona, as we do on every stage. And then we use the Galette special. Galette's going to rotate type orbs into matching. And then because she does damage, she has the lore support. She's 1 cost. So this particular team has 130 with your captains, 160 with Perona, 190 with Brook, 230 when you include Buggy, and then 1. So 231 costs for this particular team, excluding supports, which is always fun. And as you guys will see here, Blackbeard on this particular stage does a lot of damage. We're utilizing Blackbeard on stage 4 for the first 2 team comps, so that way you can easily take out Zoro pretty much in the first turn. In all of the teams, the bottom row units, Perona has slot bind, Brook has slot bind, the Buggy crew has slot bind, and then on the final team, I think it's we'll see when we get there. I think it's the Pudding unit. There's a Pudding, the Driven Pudding that came out with Big Mom. She has slot bind as well, so that all works quite nicely. All of these teams as well, they actually complete it with an extra turn to spare. So you have 2 turns left on the counter because you have to beat it in a certain time frame as well, and it all works out nicely. But the reason Blackbeard's so good for this, Stump, you've been rambling on about these teams. Why is Blackbeard so good for this particular piece of content? Well, on the final stage, you actually get a damage limiter, like you do on that stage against Zoro and Nami, and with Blackbeard's super type, you can actually remove 1 turn of all the buffs the enemy has, including that damage limiter. With Blackbeard 6+, all you need to do is utilize his special once, especially if you have him at level limit break 5. I think if you have him at level limit break 5, it's just GG. You can actually gain the super type just by using his special once. So then you activate that, it removes all those the positive effects on the enemy, including the damage limiter, which is just absolutely insane. The final stage has defense up, Brook gets around that, Alvida support on Buggy gets around that, Halloween Buggy gets around that, and then you want to bring some sort of chain lock or remove chain coefficient reduction on the final stage, as there's 2 turns of that. And you'll see in the next turn we actually remove it with the support of Swanjuan Wolf. But if you actually have Blackbeard Limit Break expanded, you can actually get Blackbeard special back on the final stage as well. I don't, and I'm not going to do it for the sake of the video. Shiki, the support Shiki, the free-to-play Shiki, was doing absolute bits, as you can see in all of these videos. So I just sort of rocked with that. The final team variation, I don't use the Shiki support because I'm actually using Swan Juan Wolf on our Blackbeard. I do have Pudding on this particular team. Pudding's great because she's actually an attack booster, and she works very nicely. And the reason it all works out pretty hunky-dory here is because we're using Halloween Buggy. Halloween Buggy is our Buggy unit, but he can also remove defense up. So if you guys are struggling for a Buggy on the team, he's a very, very good option. He works great on all 3 of these teams. You could easily slide him in. He's a rare recruit that most people would have picked up. He's well over 2 years old now. He came out with the Halloween slashes, so he's literally 2 years old. So most of you guys should have him, and that should work hunky-dory. If you guys don't, like I said, you can always use like regular Buggy, Legend Buggy with the Alvida support, the Treasure Map Rare Recruit Alvida. If you are missing her though, Kazuna Rare Recruit Brook or the Halloween Buggy are going to be your best friends. Perona and Zoro, as I mentioned, are just so good for this stage. And if you guys don't have that, I have seen some other teams floating around. I'm on a bit of a Grand Voyage sort of like kick at the moment. It's just content that I'm just really enjoying playing, like with some of these new legends that I haven't really played with. But I think this is probably the last I'll do of Blackbeard. I don't think he can really take on Bariate. He might be able to. I'd love to see some content on it, but like there's just too much going on for that final stage for like a unit to just have so self-sufficient damage, take down 6 characters. I can't really fathom it right now, but like once time goes on, I do imagine that it probably would be doable moving forward. But as I mentioned, the big difference for this team is we are utilizing Pudding. Pudding is great because she can be an attack booster for stage 4. For stage 4, as you guys saw there. And that way we can actually save our Blackbeard special. Now, for all 3 comps, it doesn't matter if you actually use Blackbeard as your friend captain or your captain, except for this team. This team is where you need Blackbeard because you do need Swanjuan Wolf as your support unit. He's a free-to-play character, so you can pick him up in the arena, the Recollective Archive. Find him there, he works out really, really well. Top Musica. While we all shit on Top Musica and how bad of a unit she is, she actually has great use for 2 Grand Voyages now. She makes this incredibly easy. With Blackbeard, of course, she makes it very, very simple. Giving you matching orbs for your top and bottom row, giving you a crazy orb boost, crazy color affinity. The orb boost can't be interrupted, which on this particular event, you can't use orb boost, so she kind of just works ridiculously well here. Now, on this final stage, we're using the Dofi support to get a chain boost, because we're not using a chain lock for this team. Chain lock for this stage works infinitely better than a chain boost does, but if you can remove the chain coefficient reduction that gets applied, as we do right here with Swanjuan, you can actually get around it. But as I mentioned, just utilizing some sort of chain lock, whether that be page 1, the free-to-play character, or utilizing the what's it called, Kazuna Brook, is going to work a little bit nicer. But there's multiple options for this particular Grand Voyage, and this is one of the Grand Voyages that I really enjoy playing because it doesn't involve like stupid shenanigans that are so hard to get like some of the others. But That's going to part the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me. If you're new to the channel or you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that big red subscribe button. Most importantly, though, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later!